What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is James, readoptionagency.com. And the most important part, 23 years selling on eBay full time. Now, why I'm pointing that out in all caps today, because it matters. It matters when it comes to experience, especially on YouTube, when you're trying to get advice from resellers. My sales have just started just turning on. Love it. And we'll get into that. Sales. And I'm doing something new today personally that I'll get into. But today my body said sleep in, because I was up at 3, got up at 4, then got up at 6 to feed the puppies and give the medicine. And I'm like, you know what? I need to lay back down. I've been getting up between 4 and 6 the last several mornings. I'm sleeping in this morning. So we're going on 10 a.m. right now. So a little behind compared to previous days, but we got baby girl. Not so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Can I see that tail move? Baby girl? Can I see that bushy tail move? She's dead stare like, it's too early for this. And we got Pee-wee behind the shipping desk here. All right, let's see what we did yesterday. I was hoping to push $1,000. I don't think I made it, of course. Again, it feels like I'm in that little bubble, even though I've moved up a little. So that's at least a good thing, because the longer I stay there, the better off I'm going to be in the long run. So let's see what I did yesterday. So right now I am in the media store. And yesterday was the 24th. Did I have any internationals? $8. All right. So here we go. The media store yesterday, $388. Boo. I was fighting this store yesterday trying to get sales. So I put up some stuff to try to get some 24-hour sales. I've gotten a few different ones today. I think one was this store, and then I just took an offer for another one on this store, but that didn't help yesterday's numbers. So, and I don't know if the one I have here helped yesterday's numbers or they came through today. There's another offer. Keep them coming today. I am busy today. But this is kind of a good point I'm going to make here. This is kind of playing into the point that I want to make about experience on eBay or on YouTube with eBay. Take it. Okay. And then on the clothing store yesterday, I apologize if I keep messing with my nose again today. I got to get sinus rinse today or something, because it just feels like it's got a bunch of dried up stuff in my nostrils. So if something falls out while I'm talking, I do apologize. But if you can, capture a screenshot of it if it does happen. All right. So the clothing store yesterday. Wasn't fighting the clothing store. As you know, I want to try to get each store 500 plus every day. So $536.92 yesterday. For the clothing store, that's up 11% from the day before. 40 items sold over here. So how many items sold over here? 25. So 65 items sold total yesterday. for a grand total of just under $1,000, $925 for the day. But that is higher than the average last week, which was $869. So for day one, we're at least above that. Can we keep it going? That's what we're going to find out. That's what we'll find out at the end of the week. Yeah. Bitty bam. So I was in I don't remember whose live I was in the other day. I was in, because I've been in a couple. It was either Primo or if it was Scott Bearded Picker. I don't remember. But somebody was saying, they were trying to, I think it might have been Scott, reiterating the point that you don't have to list every day on eBay. eBay doesn't care if you list every day. The algorithm's not going to work to your advantage if you list every day. And now there will be people, and this is where I say experience comes in handy. So you got people like who's been around longer, Scott, myself, whatever, who maybe have a better understanding how it works than, say, somebody who's, only been in a few years, only have no more listed than a few thousand items in their store. You don't see what time tells you, and you don't see what volume tells you, right? Somebody who has 200 is going to have a totally different viewpoint than somebody who has 2,000. They're going to have a totally different viewpoint than somebody who has 20,000. They're going to have a different viewpoint than somebody who has 40,000. The more you have, the more experience you have, the more items you have, the more patterns you see, and the more things you understand. So there's some, if you listen to people who's been around, who understands eBay, they're going to say, like myself, that eBay and the algorithm doesn't care if you list every day, which is 100% fact. But then you'll have some newer channels or newer resellers who will say, you have to list every day. Your sales are going to drop drastically if you don't list every day. That statement's true. The statement about eBay wants you to list every day is false. Now, here's why. First off, the algorithm doesn't care if you list every day, especially nowadays when you're promoting. More so today than before promotions. Here's the best analogy that I've always used with running an online store is fishing. Pretend you're fishing. If you only have one line in the water, how many fish are you going to catch? Maybe one. Maybe one. The more lines you have in the water, the more chances you have to catch a fish. Not just a fish, but 2 fish, 3 fish, 4 fish, depending on the lines you have in the water. The analogy I'm going to make here is, I don't know if analogy is the right word I'm looking for. Comparison. What just happened? What did I do yesterday? So yesterday, if you've been watching my videos, you saw my storage videos where I had that bag of DS cases only with no games. So last night, as I was fighting the media store, I'm like, I'm putting these up and I'm going to put these lines in the water. I'm going to go catch me some video game fish. Since I put those lines in my water, I've sold one, but I've sold a game controller. I just got an offer and took an offer on another game controller. Just took an offer on another of these. So because I put these video game fishing lines in the water, not only did I sell these. 88. Not only did I sell these, I've sold some controllers, video game related. How many times have you gone into a Target and walked out with more than what you went in to get? Or any store for that matter. How many times have you went into a store, you saw something, oh, now you know it's there, and you come back for it later. It's about having the lines in the water. Those hooks that's going to grab somebody to buy an item. Come back later and buy an item. I get at least one email a day saying, I'm coming back Thursday, Friday, when I get paid to buy this item. I hope it's still here. Is there any way you can hold this item for me? At least once a day. I personally never respond to those. There's a lot of emails I don't respond to. Those are some of the emails I don't respond to because it's kind of pointless to respond to them. It's either going to be there or it's not going to be there. I'm not going to waste my time to tell you it's going to be there or it's not going to be there. You just got to come back and see. But the point is, the more lines you have in the water, the more sales you're going to get. Period. End of story. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care if it's slow moving, if it's fast moving, it doesn't matter. The more lines you have in the water, the more sales you're going to catch. Period. If I skipped over blank hats, you watch my videos. How many blank hats have I sold in the past 30 days? Tell me, please. Because it's over 20. Hell, one order alone, I think, was 18. Almost every day. Maybe one a day average. 30 plus blank hats. How many people pass up blank hats? How many? Now, these are statistics that a lot of people can't see because you don't know. How many people clicked on a blank hat, came into the store to buy something, and ended up buying something else? Unfortunately, we can't see that. I wish we could on our end. I think technically on eBay on websites, period, you can see the back end and it will tell you person A clicked B clicked C bought D, whatever. You know, you can see a link on the back side. I wish we had access to that information. If we do, I don't know how to get to it. I've never seen it. But then again, I never looked for it. So how many of those blank hats that nobody ever buys that I could sell an average of one a day turned into sales of other items? The things you can't see like that happen, you just don't know it, so it's hard for you to envision or see. May be hard for you to envision or see it. But the more you have lines in the water, the less lines you have to put in the water for any length of time to get the same amount of catches. If I had 100 lines in the water and I didn't throw no more lines in for a week, chances are I'm going to catch an average number of fish every day, because if nothing changes, if I use the same bait, blah, blah, blah. As you get bigger, that happens. When you're in a smaller store, not so much. Your average are going to be a lot less and be a lot more hit and miss. So you might have X amount every 2 days of sales, which makes your daily average even lower. So when you average it together, everybody who says that they've gone days without sales, what you need to do is go back for a full year, take your number of items sold for last year, divide them by 300 and how many days in the year? 56 or 65? 365, 356, whatever it is. Google it. Divide it and see what your average item per day is. Then do it for this year. Do it month by month. See if it increases as you list. If it does increase as you list, by how many sold, by how many listed. You got to get down and break down the math of the situation, because knowing your numbers is not just the money you spent and the money you're bringing in and making sure you don't go into debt. It's knowing, well, if I list 100 more items, I might give an average of 1 sale more per day. If I average 1,000 more items or list 1,000 more items, I may get an average of 4 more sales per day. Average. One day you may have 0, one day you may have 8. Depends on your items, depends on a lot of other variables, how much you promote at, et cetera, et cetera. So, my point is, my bottom line point is pay more attention to people who have experience than people not so experienced. Because if you're inexperienced, you're going to relate more with somebody saying you have to list every day. eBay wants you to. But the facts will not back that up. I think eBay's actually even said themselves, you don't have to list every day for the algorithm. Bottom line. All right. All right now. Where's 64? I was just seeing if I could pull that real quick, but I'll pull it later. All right. Let's do the clothing store first, I guess. Well, where were you at this morning? I'm curious about that. So in the clothing store this morning, I'm at 10 a.m. on the dot. I'm $162. And on the media store, I'm at $130. So $290, almost $300 at 10 a.m. Beyond where I like to be on the low end, so I'm good to go. Good to go. All right. Ooh. Sold a nice dollar item that'll be in this evening's video since it just sold. All right, let's see. I think I got everything pulled. And I have 2, well now 3, at least 3 24-hour sales to add to the list. And that's one thing that this shipping label thing proves is if you do list every day, you can make more sales every day, but it's not because of the algorithm, it's because you've got a line in the water that worked. Oh no, I didn't pull those yet. Remove that. My hat buyer came in and bought 3 items, sent offers on 3 items instead of doing the 10 and get 50% off. So I had to accept the offers. Now I have to refund the difference. Didn't want him to do that unless he bought 10 or more because it's a pain in the butt, but oh well. He's a repeat buyer. If I have to take an extra 2 minutes to refund money, then that's what I got to do to make the customer happy. All right, let's go on this. So first off, we've got a Cardinals St. Patrick's Day-ish, or actually it might be a Strike Out the Stigma mental health. So it's a mental health hat, I guess. So for $8, headed to Jacksonville, Florida. And let me get my old people things on so I don't mess anybody's order up. But it pushes down on this spot what feels like I got some dryness in, and it's uncomfortable. I need to get some lubrication up in there today. Alright, so $8, Jacksonville, Florida. Snow. Alright. So the one thing that I like to do when it comes to losing some weight, eating better, that's what it was. I had this thing I came up with overnight, and I couldn't remember what it stood for, and it just popped in my head. All right, so in the past, when I go to lose weight, summer coming in, the best thing I can do for myself is keep myself in check. The best way to do that is write it down in front of you. So before, I'd always have a thing written down, or I'd have columns written down, and I'd have how many times, how long I went to work out that day, et cetera, et cetera. So it's all right there in front of me. But I think I'm going to try something different this time, something a little more simple. And I'm just going to write down everything that goes into my mouth during the day. Because how many of you just snack and you don't even realize it? You're just snacking out of habit. You're like, next thing you know, the whole bag's gone or whatever. I'm writing down everything. Everything that enters my mouth, I'm writing it down on the paper for that day. So I can see exactly what's going on. It's almost like counting calories, keeping track of your calories. But in an easier way. I don't care how many calories. I care about how much I intake, basically. But I came up with this thing overnight, or in the middle of my sleep or something. It was ELAB. So I put ELAB down on my paper. Like, what did that stand for? I don't remember. Eat like a baby. So basically, eating small stuff. Just eat like a baby does. Just little tiny stuff, and you're done. So that's what I'm going to try this year. Is every day, it's right there in front of me. I can look at it. Before I pick up a cupcake, I'll be like, no, I already had a cupcake today. I don't need another cupcake today. Whatever the case may be. And always remember, too, water can fill your stomach. So if you're feeling hungry, you just drink a ton of water real quick, couple of glasses, and it fills your tummy up for now. Gets rid of that thing. Now get back to work. The biggest problem with overeating and stuff is boredom, depression. Those are probably the best two. So if you keep your mind occupied, if you're a reseller and you're watching this video, the best thing to do is just keep working. Keep listing. Focus on, I want to get this done today. I want to get that done today. I want to get X amount of items listed today. If you keep your focus on that, on your good days, when you're focused in on something you're enjoying, how many times have you said to yourself, oh, I forgot to eat today? Well, there's a reason for that. It's because your mind was focused someplace else and you weren't bored and thinking, I need to put something in my mouth because I'm bored. You're not going to die if you don't eat today. You can fast for a couple of days without dying. You can fast for, hell, there's people who fast for 30 days. So it's not going to kill you if you don't eat today. Next up, we got an Able Midstream Partner hat. It sold for $9.50, headed to Stillwater, Oklahoma. So writing everything down. I'm writing anything, period, that goes in my mouth, whether it's liquid or solids. This sucks. I should have did a rinse before I came down here. Next up, we've got Washington University long sleeve tee, sold for $10.50, headed to Wynwood, Pennsylvania. I don't think those hats. Which one? Did I put up hats yesterday? I don't remember. This is a long sleeve one. A little thicker. Next up, Minnesota Twins. So for $6, headed to Mayville, North Dakota. I've always used the fishing analogy all these years. You know, for me, I've always looked at it as how many lines can I get into the water? And it's actually, for me, a fun analogy, a fun way of looking at it, and a motivating way to look at it. Next up, another hat. What's he doing back there? Hopefully he's like licking or something, because that's a weird noise. Maybe it's a snore. I need to use some allergy medicine today. Bear Moby hat. So for $10.50, headed to Roseville, Ohio. What kind of thumbnail and title can I come up with to really entice people to click on this video? The first thing that popped in my head was YouTube resellers don't know shit. That was the first thing that popped in my head. And make people go, uh-oh, what's he doing? What's he talking about? You get the best click through when you make people think that you're talking about somebody. I've noticed that. Cougar Control. No, Central Cougars, Central Control. My eyesight's messed up even with the glasses on. All right, so for $9, headed to New Jersey. Cougar Control. I'm just thinking about all the women who are coming after me. My young self, you know, all the cougars. Cougar Control. That could be like a dating service app for young guys and older women. Cougar Control. I'll make some money off that. Kyle. Slow and beautiful. Here's another one of those items that I like where I bought tons of them, like at the bins, and they slowly sell over time. I bought a bunch of NFL belts. So this is Las Vegas Raiders now. When I bought it, it was Oakland Raiders, but it doesn't say the city on there, so it now says Las Vegas Raiders. But anyway, sold for $8, headed to Alamo, Texas. I'm gonna check on him, make sure he's not having like some kind of little seizure or something. It's just his exhale. He's got some congestion on his exhale. So I'm gonna have to give him some Claritin today. I think it's Claritin. One of those allergy meds that's okay to give puppies. Sylvester. Maybe I can next day if I did that. Next up is a 24-hour sale. $30. So at this point, we're up to $564. But I got a couple more too now. So I did put up hats yesterday. I put up a lot of hats yesterday. So now I think about it, that was my main thing I put up yesterday. It is a Bam Margera Elements hat. Bam Margera. I think that's his last name spelled. Margera. Now that I try to pronounce it, I'm not going to be able to. That sold for $30. Headed to Middletown, Delaware. Middleton, Delaware. Slow and beautiful. 6. Ronald. Baby, here I am, man on the street. So we got this blank blue Old Navy hat. Sold for $8, headed to Cincinnati, Ohio. That whole fishing lines in the water analogy, that's why I list anything. That's why I list everything. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been back in that mode. Before that, I would pick and choose. I feel like doing CDs. I'll do some media for a couple of days. I'll do some hats for a couple of days. And no, now I'm just, whatever's there, I'm doing. So I'll grab a tote or a box and just go, boom. I'll just go balls out and put it all up. I don't care if it's a coupon or an expired coupon, a sticker, a Hot Wheel, CD, a joystick, video game. I don't care. It's going up because that's a line in the water. And has that what's been helping my sales increase? You see the actual numbers here. So. Or is it eBay starting to work a little better? Maybe it's a little bit of everything. We got women's Mizzou hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Germantown, Tennessee. Alrighty, that is the clothing store. Review purchases. He sounds so congested. Poor baby. He's just trying to breathe. Hopefully these aren't out of water today. They were so out of water yesterday. Because if they're out of order, I'm going to have to start paying attention to first names duplicates. And I start to put initials or something on them too. And that would just be a pain in the butt. And yep, they are out of order. Damn it. Why are you doing this? Am I doing something differently, or did I hit something? I don't think so. I'm doing everything the same. So I don't know why it's printing them out randomly now. Sharon? Because that's going to suck if it's... I have duplicate names. Kurt? I heard a beep. I'm like, what the hell is that? Ronald. It's all the way back up here at the top. Got a full tote here. Sylvester. I've got to pay attention next time I do it. Make sure something ain't changed setting-wise that I missed or something. Kyle. Martha. My media store didn't do this yesterday. It was just the clothing store. I'm tired of my nose being messed with. No, that was a hair doing it. Aaron. Susan. So, I can talk about this now. The reasoning why. So we come up with the idea of maybe doing like a health video series, not health, but medicine related, GM, Ask Pharmacist type of thing. And we haven't been able to do it because she's working every day consistently. But also, she put in her 2 weeks notice with CVS. And she's going back to Walgreens. So she is changing employers again. Let's see. Okay, that's not pull. That's not pull. And everything else should be. I did not pull that. I can get that. I think I got those. She just felt she was being taken advantage of. She has to drive an hour to work and drive an hour back. She's been asking to get closer to work or closer to home. And they keep messing her around. And this is somebody who will go wherever they want her to go. She had her own store, right, out in Sullivan. But they would close it and have her go other places. Well, we need you, because I guess they don't feel it's an important store or whatever reason. We're going to close you down today, and I need you to go to Farmington. So she would do that. Well, now they got some new guy on who came from Walgreens as a supervisor, and he's been there like 6 weeks, and he did her review. So she's been there 6 years or whatever. Somebody who comes in for 6 weeks to do the review. Well, he takes the results of her store and reviews her on that. All right, this is a place where they won't send her any help. They're making her work by herself. As a pharmacist, that's dangerous. Secondly, they'll close her down and send her someplace else. So he's rating her review on her store. This is the first time in her career she's gotten like a low review, which caused barely any pay raise, like 5 cents or something like that. So she's like, I never got a 2 on any review my whole life. He's basing it on the store performance. Yet they'll close the store down usually at least once a week and have her go someplace else. And if she can't keep up because they won't send her any help, because it's a busy store, and then they won't send her any help in the pharmacy, so she's like, you know what, I'm done. She's complained about it, and this new guy comes in and thinks he knows everything, and he's doing all this stuff, and he's only been there 6 weeks, and he's had 8 people quit underneath him. And they've already been hurting bad for pharmacists. So to have 8 quit in your first 6 weeks when your company is struggling to keep employees, that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So hopefully it comes back to kick him in the butt when it comes to his review time. So she's like, I'm done. So I don't know if she called somebody or did it online. I think she did it online. She put in an application for Walgreens online. She got a call back in 5 minutes. Go, yes, we want you. We'll take you back. We need you back. Where you want, close to home, closest we got, St. Anne, we'll give it to you. It's your store. So she's like, okay. And then right after he hung up, the store manager of St. Anne called and said, oh, I hear you want to be here. Yes, we'll take you. I need you. Come on in. Blah, let's meet. Blah, blah, blah. And I mean, that's how bad pharmacists are hurting out there. Pharmacy is hurting, and they're needing pharmacists. They'll give you almost anything you want. So she got a sign-on bonus, which is going to help with Pee-wee bills. It's only $5,000, so, but still, it's going to take a chunk out of the Pee-wee bills. So she gets the sign-on bonus, and she gets the money she wants, and from what they're saying, she'll have plenty of help. They don't have no tech issues there. There's always a couple of techs who's always working, and there's a couple of people up front. They have picks. So there's people up front they call picks who want to eventually transition to pharmacy tech. So they go back there and help out if they're needed. If it's so busy or if somebody calls in, then they'll get one of the picks to come back and work the pharmacy also. So there's a lot of room for help there. So yep, she's going back to Walgreens. So done with being screwed over by CVS. All right, first up, we've got 24 hours. So we got Pokemon White version 2, just the case and the manual. I took an offer this morning on that for $30. So there's $30. So now we're at $5.94. $30 headed to Iowa. But I think she's got, and they need her so much. Like she has maybe one day off every 2 weeks. So, I mean, I think her last day is still about a week away, and she's only got one day off between now and then. And I think she had a day off about 5 days ago, maybe. 4. Chris. Just to kind of put in perspective, we've had her new car, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, I guess just a tad bit over a year now, I think. It hasn't even been a year, maybe a year. 42,000 miles on it in 1 year. So that's a lot of gas money. So there'll be money saved there now also. A big band era cassette. Sold for $5, headed to Trenton, New Jersey. And she's been miserable. The last few months, she's just been miserable going to work. So hopefully her mood will change too. You know, she'll be happy again. not stressed out and feeling like she feels like CVS is setting her up to fail. Because when you're working by yourself at a busy store, mistakes are made. You can give people the wrong medication that could cause problems. She says, they're putting my pharmacy license in jeopardy. So she's done. Done. Next up, we've got a clear PS2 controller. Sold for $20, headed to Ohio. And the guy that gave her a review sent her, after he saw the resignation, sent her an email and goes, let's talk about this. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. You wouldn't listen before. If you didn't care before, you know what? You don't care. If you don't care when it, if you don't care when it doesn't matter, then you really don't care. You only care because it's going to affect you. So, Alex. Next up, Me and Juliet, vinyl record. So for $5, headed to Atlanta, Georgia. Alrighty. Richard. Guess it ain't gonna matter if they're just, the store didn't mess up yesterday, so it should be all right. Oh, yeah, one international going to Italy, and that's it. I did not get my sleeves. There's one here though. Got DJ Rectangle. Sold for $12, headed to San Francisco. So yeah, hopefully she'll be better spirits. She won't have to waste 2 hours a day just driving, not being paid for it. Plus the mileage and the gas. Like, I'm already ready to get rid of that car because I don't like keeping cars over 60,000 miles. Mine's already at 62. Hers is at 42. So, might be time to trade it in and find something monthly. I like keeping the monthly payments around the same, so like $500 average per car. So, Ian. So it's about time. One of them's going to have to go, right? I mean, I may just do the Porsche first since it's got so much money on it, or so many miles. Next up, we've got Pokemon Pearl. Just the case, sold for $20. Headed to Oregon, so that's another 24 hours. So it'd be $615 basically. $614 in 24-hour sales this month. So going forward, I'm going to use that number as the beat number. So whatever we end up for March will be beat that for April type of thing. So just try to keep beating numbers. That's what I'm going to do. Always try to beat the highest number. Caesar. Next up, Essential Women, House of Blues CD. Sold for $5, headed to Oakland, California. Walter. Walter. 20 Bluegrass Originals, because that's sold for $5, headed to Cleveland, Georgia. Justin. Jazz New Orleans CD. Sold for, $29. Headed to Babylon, New York. Doreen's Jazz New Orleans 10. 2 of 2,000. Show your at Mardi Gras. That's funny. Try not to get that glare on her too bad. Yeah, $29. Going to New York, New York. Next up, Il Volo CD, sold for $6, headed to Canoga Park, California. Art of Segovia, whatever his name is. Sold for $5, headed to Kingman, Arizona. What's up, baby girl? What's you doing? We're almost done. And you guys can help me load up the car. Leonard. Next up, we got the Serrato Scratch Record. Sold for $18, headed to Temple, Texas. Texas. I still got vinyl from that collection I bought last summer. I haven't listed yet. That's something I should get listed because it consistently sells. Alan? Because now I got 4 more that just sold. Are you ready for a vinyl light? I need to get some sleeves.
1 sleeve, 2 sleeve. 3 sleeve, 4 sleeve.
I need 3. So, 5, 11, 11, and 650. I too get 2. Cameron. Cool Breeze. 12-inch. This one I'll show without the sleeve first because it's red. Lil Jon. Lil Jon. And Pace 1. Headed to Cambridge, Massachusetts. Alrighty. Review purchases. See if there's something here that could reorder it. Don't see nothing here that would, if you clicked on it, it would print in a different order. It is, I've never noticed it before, but it's showing all the media together and all the ground together. I wonder if that's what's doing it. Let's see if this prints out in order or not. Okay, print labels. Everything here is still in order. Print. And I don't remember what the first one was. So it looks like this one stayed in order. Yeah. So I gotta figure out why that other one's out of order. William. I don't see nothing you could click on that would cause it to go out of order, so I'm wondering if it's just a glitch or something on that store. Seizure. Ian. Richard. Boom. All right. Ta-da. All right, where are we at now? So we're going on 10:45. Don't look like nothing. It was popped up over here, but so 182 and 161. So what, 240? No, 340. 340 by 1045. So still on good numbers early, so that's good. Good. And I got one international. Go ahead and knock that out right quick. Refresh. Fresh. Straight Jacket Fits cassette. Headed to Italy. This is one I've got tons of. I think it sold for $5. It's gonna be a 3 cassette. Yeah, sold for $5. And of course, you want a code. Stupid codes slowing me down. Stupid codes. Print yesterday's scan form up for that. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Yay. Get some work done. I gotta find a spot for those. All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next video. Later.